Hi, Ken Cutler, your Nevada County Public Health Officer with you on June 2nd. So yesterday we updated our county COVID dashboard. Just a reminder to us all that the COVID-19 virus is out there, and as there was more opportunities to go out, to shop, to dine, to do other things, just a reminder that the more interactions you have with other people, the closer those interactions, the longer those interactions, the greater chance for transmission. And we are starting to see some pockets of increased cases and increased transmission in California as we start to reopen. So back to basics, stay home, particularly if you are in a vulnerable category, if you're 65 and older and have a greater chance for having complications from a COVID-19 infection, if you have underlying medical problems such as diabetes or kidney disease, high blood pressure, heart or lung disease, please be very cautious. Stay home as much as you can still. Remember that travel is really supposed to be local, and stay local with really only going longer distance for essential services or for business purposes. We received information recently in terms of recreation. So racket sports like pickleball or tennis, where people are on opposite sides of the court, people can play singles even if they're not in the same household. But again, taking appropriate precautions. So the United States Tennis Association has put out guidance that if you're going to play singles with somebody else, make sure that you're both well before you take the court. Don't linger and congregate before or after. Wash your hands well. Don't share equipment. They have good guidance on using 2 sets of balls so that you only handle one set, your opponent handles the other. So go out, enjoy yourself, but be safe. Last Friday, the governor, during his noontime press conference, had talked about moving into stage 3, and there's been some confusion about that message. So Dr. Angel, the state health officer, put out a clarification recently that the locals can move further into stage 3 only when the state has produced guidance for that sector. So currently, movie houses are still not able to open, nor gymnasiums or fitness centers. Those will be later in stage 3 once the state has posted guidance that we can look at and decide to approve or not. I know during the reopening there have been a lot of questions, what's open, what's not. So some of the things that have reopened recently are restaurants with in-restaurant dining with modifications. So you'll see that people are distanced. It should only be households sitting together in those establishments. Offices, people who are in offices and doing business are allowed to be together if they're taking certain precautions and have done the appropriate employee training, etc. Remote work is still encouraged as much as possible. Retail, as you know, has been opened, and again with modifications, so that stores, we hope, aren't crowded. You may want to avoid it if there's not good distancing between people. Please, anytime you venture out, if you're able to wear a face covering, do so, because we know that if people come in close contact, the face covering can really decrease droplets from people who may not realize that they could be spreading the virus, because some people won't have symptoms or will actually be able to transmit the virus before their symptoms start. And another sector that was recently opened are barbershops and hair salons. And again, like other businesses, they don't look the way they did in 2019. So they should be by appointment, You shouldn't have many people in the waiting room. People should be appropriately distanced, so at least 6 feet apart. I encourage you, if you are waiting, please wear a face covering if at all possible to decrease unintentional transmission to others. You'll notice your hairstylist or your barber is taking precautions. They're going to be wearing a face covering, maybe a face shield as well, and taking good disinfection precautions.